Welcome to the On Deck podcast for all your baseball DFS needs with your superstar hosts, fantasy baseball experts, Casey, Bubba, Bogman, and the Welsh. The On Deck podcast is brought to you commercial-free by LineStar app, the #1 top-rated data and analytics tool for daily fantasy sports.
And welcome back, everybody. We got the LineStar On Deck MLB DFS podcast. Your host tonight, Bubba at BDJ. That's me. And my co-host, as always, on this endeavor. You can find him on Twitter at Bogman Sports. Bogman, how we doing, man?
I'm good. I mean, we're recording this. The Diamondbacks are in the 13th inning. You know, we're like, all right, come on, let's get this over with. And it looks like it could be a long one till late in the wee hours. Like, I might get tired by the time this game
I thought
ends.
putting the guy on second base was supposed to speed the game up. Apparently,
Nope.
That's not working.
No, they all score from second, and then so does the next inning. Everybody scores from second. It's the Oprah meme. You get a run, you get a run, you get a run. It's crazy.
Oh, man. It's absolutely nuts. But
it's like Ryan McMahon's homers today. You get a run, you get a run, you get a run.
You know, the Rockies finally put McMahon, Hilliard, Dom Nunez, all these young players in the lineup. Nunez goes deep once. Hilliard goes deep to force extras. McMahon hits 3 homers. Wow. Shocker.
Look at that. As soon as you call Bud Black a moron, he does it. He must be listening. That's
thanks,
what it
Bud.
is, right?
Thanks, Bud. This Bud's for you. Appreciate it. Nate Lowe, double donged. That was a beautiful sight. Gallo didn't get it done. It really stunk because if you stack Dahl, Gallo, and Lowe, Dahl was great. Lowe was very good, and then Gallo just kind of hung out. But
I mean, I'm still waiting on Trevor Story, so we'll see how many innings we get in this game. It could happen. So.
Yeah, you might get that like 18th inning home run to really send you into the twilight zone. Humphreys,
me and the other 4 people who are awake will tweet about it. So
exactly, Humphreys hit with Pete Alonso went deep in his last at bat. Big Meat Pete, the polar bear. So that was fun there. But it was another wild day in baseball. Got some good pitching. Garrett Cole was a beast. Giolito's defense let him down. He had 1 bad inning, but he feasted. Other than that, Glasnow was good. Overall, I think we did pretty good. Bogman, what about you?
Yeah, Darvish, was pretty strong as well. So Glasnow got DeGrommed. So that was unfortunate. But a lot of good pitching. We said, to stack the Texas game, and they were pretty good. We said to stack this Rockies and Diamondbacks game, and that's got 14 runs in it. So I think we did pretty strong yesterday. Yeah,
not too bad. But if you're waking up and you're grabbing your coffee, hurry up and set your lineups because we started 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific with the 10-game slate we're going to break down for you today. So it's going to be a wild one. Go get the LineStar app. It'll help you get all your stuff figured out. Go to the Apple App Store or Google Play, download it. You get all the values. You can make your lineups. You can do all kinds of cool. The stack tool. The chat's pretty awesome as well. Once in a while, you'll find us in those mean streets. So come have some fun over there on the LineStar app and see what you can accomplish over there. But Bogman, are you ready? 10 games. You want to do this?
10 games, 10 early games with, games with your breakfast on if you're on the West Coast here. So I'm ready. Let's go.
A little coffee and a donut. So let's get at it here. You got Tampa Bay and Boston kicking things off here. Over under 9 in this one. Yarborough, Eovaldi, on paper, decent pitchers, but the total screams offense. Eovaldi 7,700 on DK, 71 on FanDuel. You got 7,200 for Eovaldi on FanDuel. Yarborough 69 on FanDuel, 71 on DK. What are you liking any pitching? Or are you going bats in this one?
I think I like some bats here, but I think a sneaky play could be Yarborough. He was great in that first start, been pretty good. So I kind of like Yarborough for his price.
Yeah, I don't hate Yarborough in this one. I watched a lot of that start last Friday against Miami. Just a lot of soft stuff. He's got the movement's filthy. It's awesome, but it wasn't getting a lot of swing and misses that game. We'll see how it goes. But I think you and I can agree with a lefty on the mound. Mr. Just Dongs Martinez is a very good play tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's expensive in DK, especially 5,400, 3,600 respectively. But, in his career against Yarborough, 9 of 15 with 4 doubles and 2 homers and hitting 600. So we like that a lot. So, yeah, I think JD Martinez should be in most lineups.
Yeah, there's a couple other little value spots here and there, but as a whole, the total of 9 screams to play this game. I'm not rushing to play it. I'll say that much. I think there's a lot of other good spots on a 10-game slate where you can get a little more picky. So I'm going to pass for the most part unless something crazy comes out in lineups and goes, hey, you got to get your action in this game. Let's go Kansas City at Cleveland in this one. We don't have a total yet. That is surprising. At least where I'm looking, we don't have a total, so there must be confusion because we got Bieber on the mound. Oh, that's what it is. Because Kansas City is going with the opener and then the long man. So Vegas is confused right now. So Bieber's 10-6 on DK on FanDuel. He is a wonderful 11-5. Jacob Junis appears to be the opener. Not thinking I'm going to play him, but are you paying up for Bieber today?
Yeah, I think Bieber is a decent buy, but there's other good pitchers. So he's going to be the most expensive on both. So I don't know if today's necessarily the day, but you can't go wrong with Bieber. So I'm not going to sit here and talk him down at all. He's a good buy if you can spend the money and find cheapness in some other spots. But I think I'll go with other pitchers, in my lineups today.
Yeah, regular listeners of the show, even last year, know I like this Kansas City offense. So I'm a big fan. I still like Shane Bieber today, though. Like you said, you can't go wrong with him. There's going to be a lot of strikeouts there for him. If you want to pay up, sure, but I'm also with Bogman. I think there's other spots of elite, kind of like Monday nights or Tuesday night schedule, where Giolito was the third price guy, still paid off. Glasnow was the fourth. There's elite pitching today, so you don't have to always go to the top. So I'll be passing there. Are you using some Cleveland bats to attack these Royals pitchers, or are you going with the Royals to be contrarian?
Well, I tell you what, Witt is white hot. So
yes.
Tough to go against Witt. I actually kind of like Benintendi for some cheapness too. 3,400, 2,700, 5 for 9 career if you're looking for some PVB, and with a bomb against Bieber in his career. So I don't mind Benintendi or Witt. Jordan Luplow has been hitting leadoff when he's in there. He's at 2,700 on both as well. So a nice cheap option in some GPPs.
Yeah, the main thing I'm looking at here, unless you're making a bunch of lineups, I'm kind of avoiding. But on DK, Kyle Isbell's 2K. On FanDuel, he's 25. That 2K on DK, if you're just looking for an Uber punt, I could see kind of going there just to open up a lot of lineups for you. But for the most part, I'll probably be passing on this one as well. We'll have to wait and see. You never say never, like Feifel used to say. But Minnesota at Detroit, this is going to be a fun one, folks, because Matthew Boyd made everybody all warm and fuzzy on his debut. And, the total's 8.5 in this game. And he's facing Kenta Maeda, who got hit around a little bit by Milwaukee. So he's priced down on both sides. I like Kenta Maeda today, Boggs. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, come on. Kenta Maeda, he actually didn't pitch terribly. He did get a little hit by Milwaukee, but not terribly in his last start. But yeah, I mean, Matthew Boyd at your own discretion. You know what I mean? No thanks. That's all I can think of cliches that are completely inappropriate, but I'm not rolling the dice on that one. I'll say that.
Yeah, he's a fluffer for the Twins today. Let's just put it that way. Kenta Maeda is 8,300 on DK, 9K on FanDuel. I love that price on DraftKings as an SP2. I'm a big fan of that, especially in cash games. The floor he brings to this lineup. Detroit's been swinging decent bats like Baду and company, but the strikeouts will be there a plenty. So he gives you 5 or 6 innings. I wouldn't be shocked if we see 7, 8 plus strikeouts, and he really racks up the points there. I'm all about attacking Matt Boyd. We talked about how Martinez is on fire. Nelson Cruz didn't play the first 3 games of the season, and you wouldn't know it by looking at his stat line, Boggs.
I mean, it just every game it's laser shot, laser shot, laser shot. He's laser show like Dustin Pedroia was, but they're all over the fence. Yep. So yeah, Nelly Cruz definitely going to be in a lot of lineups. I like Jorge Polanco here too. Priced cheaply, 3,400, 2,500, 13 for 44. That's a 295 average for 3 bombs in his career off of Boyd. I like that one too.
Yeah, the other one I like, I love Nelly. Buxton's swinging a great bat. He came back. He didn't start. People were still concerned. Came in the 5th inning on Tuesday, went deep to tie it up late. So he's fine. I don't mind him at 37 on FanDuel. And he's just a little pricier on DK, but 39 is actually not bad for Buxton. The play that intrigues me quite a bit, if you want, he's been starting at third base while Arias goes to second base. So make sure this is how they play it out. But Williams Astudillo is 3,200 on DK. He's first base catcher eligible. On FanDuel, though, obviously that'll be first base catcher eligible for Mr. Astudillo. He's only 2,300. So if you're making a stack with the Twins, see where Astudillo is in that lineup. He can be super cheap, and he's swinging a really good bat because that's what he does. El Tortuga puts the ball in play. It's a beautiful.
I love
beautiful
a guy
thing.
that's shaped like us out there playing. You know what I mean? And he's got a lot of same hair characteristics as I do. Yeah, so I like Williams Astudillo.
My build, your hair. It's a beautiful thing. I do love the memes we get out there. Like there's the Ninja Turtle memes when he makes certain faces. The dude's just great. He's great for baseball. So please give us some Astudillo in your life. We head to Texas, back to Texas, and I hate to say it, folks. I'll be playing some bats in this one. Toronto at Texas. You got Hung-Jin Ryu versus Kyle Gibson, over under 8.5. Last time I checked, Bogman, we stacked the Royals big time against Kyle Gibson and it paid off. I think I'll go back to Toronto today. But first, do you like Ryu at all?
Yeah, I do like Ryu a little bit. But I do, once again, there's better pitchers. I think today there's one we're going to get to that I'm going to play everywhere because he's priced down. So Ryu's a good option, but not one I'm going to play in many lineups.
Yeah, on DK at 73, I could see the argument for an SP2. On FanDuel at his price point of 82, if you're making a lot of lineups, sure, but not like single or three max. There's definitely better options. But let's get to the fun of it. I am all about Toronto's bats today. What's one stand out to you?
I mean, Bo Bichette's coming off a 2-homer game, so that's big. Vlad is at 5,000, so right at the average line. A little bit over after you pay for a pitcher. But Marcus Semien is in there. Biggio. I like a lot of the bats. I think some of these Texas bats are decent buys as well. David Dahl, 3,300, 2,800 is pretty cheap. I forgot to say Rowdy Tellez on the lefty-righty, 3,500, 2,300. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, you said it yesterday, and you had a swipe today to our buddy Paul Spore's dismay, 4,000 and 2,900 is a decent price. And look, once again, if you're paying up for a pitcher, if you're taking a Bieber, Leody Taveras, probably going to bat at the back end of the lineup, but 2,400 and 2,200 almost free. So we like that. We like that price for sure.
We like that for sure. I like the Tellez call for some value. I don't mind paying up for the big dogs. Like Vlad didn't have the biggest game, but he's still putting really good at bats out there. It's not like we saw slumps in the past with him. He's still locked in. So the big games are coming from him. I don't mind Bichette, Semien, Gurriel's a little cheaper on both sides if you want some action. Grichuk swinging. Like I could sit there and list the whole team because they're all very offensively talented. The only other guy I'll mention, more so on DK than FanDuel, if Kirk starts, he goose egged it on Tuesday. I get it, but still very, very cheap. If you're looking for some love in that way, don't mind it at all. But I do like a Toronto stack. That'll be one of the ones I circle when we bring it around later in the episode. Real quick, before we go to the next game, if you could go on your iTunes app and rate and review the On Deck podcast, the gentlemen at LineStar would really appreciate it. You never know. They're doing cool giveaways like $100 giveaways. They're doing swag giveaways. The more love you give, the more love they give back. So I'm just saying, give it a rate review. You never know. Or if you like to see our faces for radio, you can go to the LineStar YouTube channel, subscribe there, and give the old thumbs up. Everybody would appreciate that as well. All right. Milwaukee at Chicago. This is a good one. We saw Freddie Peralta deal on Tuesday. Might be a little different. Brandon Woodruff, Kyle Hendricks, the two opening day starters. Didn't have the most impressive starts, but not bad. There's no over-under because we are in Wrigley. But Woodruff is mighty cheap in my mind, friendo, and I am a big fan today.
That's the one. That's the one. Just looking at the Cubs, like you said, Woodruff really, really cheap on both sides, especially comparatively to some of the bigger pitchers that we have out there today. The Cubs going into today, second worst average in baseball behind ahead of just only the Braves, and they had one hit today. So not going to improve very much. Their bats are cold right now. So give me Woodruff in all my lineups. I think I'm going to have Woodruff. I love him for today. So going to be a sad boy if he gets smashed, if he's the slump buster, but I can't imagine that Brandon Woodruff is the slump buster. So we'll see.
And there's certain guys I'm good with going all in on, like Giolito. Woodruff isn't far off from Giolito, folks. Like he really isn't. And we're looking at a $7,600 pitcher on FanDuel and $7,200 on DraftKings. Like you could pair him up on DraftKings with Bieber or another guy we're going to talk about later, or a couple guys we're going to talk about later, or go Maeda, get all the bats in the world if you want. Or like you said, I could use him on FanDuel for 76 and not even have to worry about value bats. Like I can get every awesome bat I want and not care. So depends on how you want to lineup construct, but Woodruff is in a phenomenal spot. I think he's even cash game viable, to tell you the truth. I could see a quality start coming because it's not just the average you mentioned with the Cubs. They are striking out a ton, and that is DFS gold. So on the flip side, I'm not super excited about bats. I know Hendricks struggled his first time out, but I still think he's decent enough that I don't see him getting blown up enough to make DFS fun for me. But do you like anybody in this game?
There's a couple of cheap options that I like. I'll mention all these guys. I'm not going to play them in every lineup. I'm just giving you guys options. Travis Shaw, 7 for 27, 259, 3 homers in his career against Hendricks. So I like that.
On Tuesday too.
2,800 on FanDuel, 4,000 on DK. Colton Wong, 3,200, 3,000, 300 career hitter in 40 at bats against Hendricks. So I like those two options.
Yep, I don't mind that, especially that shot call. The mayor of Ding Dong City is locked in right now, so that's a good thing. We head to Oaktown, Dodgers, A's. The A's just continue to lose. It's unbelievable how bad they are right now. Over under 8.5 in this one. You got Trevor Bauer versus Jesus Luzardo, and I said it last time. Luzardo's very good, but when he's off, it gets ugly, and it happened in his first start. It's going to be dicey, and that's why I just can't trust rostering him. But Trevor Bauer, on the other hand, was like going no territory in Coors, then he got Coors in one inning. But I'm going back to that well if you're willing to pay up for it.
Yeah, I mean that's the guy. That's the chalky chalk guy. I would take Bauer over Bieber in my lineups today. So that's why I was a little wary on Bieber, not because Bieber's not great, but because Bauer is available and a little bit cheaper too. So I think Bauer is going to be your chalk pitcher on the lineups today.
Yeah, Bauer's $500 cheaper at $11K on FanDuel. He's $400 cheaper at $10.2 on DraftKings. I like that savings as well. I
tell you what, one little warning for this game is the Dodgers are resting guys all the time. So if you're not gonna, look, most people don't sleep as late as I do. So most people are up and ready to check their lineups and everything. But if you are someone who is, thinking about setting a lineup and not checking it, the Dodgers they've been resting Bellinger. They've been resting all their guys. So just check to make sure your Dodgers are actually in the lineup today. So especially day game after a night game is a good way to give you guys some rest as well. So
yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if like Will Smith, the catcher, gets the day off. Mookie Betts at the home run in the ninth. He could see a day off, which would stink. Justin Turner. These guys I'm naming off because we'd love to see them versus left-handed pitching. So what are some targets? Because I don't mind the idea of stacking against Luzardo. I'm not running to do it because I still respect him, but I think it's a great tournament idea because the teams go off on Luzardo all the time. So it could be and it's the Dodgers for crying out loud. So any interest in the Dodgers?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're okay buying the expensive guys. If you want bets, if you want, Seager's been great at 5,500. Turner has been great at 5,300. Gavin Lux is a nice option at 4,300. I don't mind paying up for any really Dodgers bats. I mean, look, if Edwin Rios is in the lineup, he went yard tonight too. So he could be an option too if someone gets a day off. So there are definitely good options for the Dodgers that I don't mind throwing in my lineup, even though I feel disgusting saying that I like Dodgers. So
yeah, a couple I like to begin depending if they're in the lineup. Chris Taylor, really good versus a left-handed pitch, and he's 4,100 on DK. He's, I believe, 27 on FanDuel, so that's another. That's even cheaper than that. He is 27. Okay, I was right. So you've got him. Maybe AJ Pollock cracks the lineup. Never know. He can have lefties well. So a couple guys to look at if you're looking for value. I like looking for value on teams that could go off for big numbers. That's always a good one. We head to Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. The Mets and the Phillies. Fun one on Tuesday. We get on Wednesday, David Peterson versus Aaron Nola, total of 8. I like Nola a ton. I think he gets overlooked on this slate. He's only 91 on FanDuel. I got some great savings if you don't want to pay up for Bauer and you're not using Woodruff, of course. So I think that's a nice angle. And on DK, he's only 94 as well. So I think he's good discount on both sides if you want to save. The other pitchers have better matchups, but I like Nola as well. Do you have interest in these pitchers?
Yeah, I like Nola. I'm with you. He's a cheap option because there are so many good pitchers in this 10-game slate that we have, early 10-game slate. So he gets overlooked, but I love that buy as well. If you're not going Woodruff, I think Nola might be the second best value today in your lineups.
100% with you on that one. And then it gets fun because Philadelphia, I love their offense. And we got a lefty in Peterson who has done a good job in short samples of limiting contact, but we know the Phillies in that ballpark can catch fire. Reese is swinging a decent bat. He intrigues me. McCutcheon's always there. Didi hits lefties very well, so don't sleep on that one. Gene Segura. There's a lot to like in this lineup. Are you interested in stacking the Phillies at all?
Yeah, I mean, you just mentioned my two favorites are Rhys Hoskins and Andrew McCutcheon leading off at 3,200, 2,900. I think Andrew McCutcheon is going to be in pretty much all my lineups at that price.
Yeah, it's funny because eventually, not FanDuel as much, but DraftKings usually gets their pricing kind of figured out eventually. To me, it feels like they're slower than usual because every day, like even on Tuesday, I'm building my lineups going, I could leave like $1,500 and feel fine. It's really weird right now, and it's hard to do that. So I'm hoping they fix things pretty soon.
Worst so far, DFS pricing or MLB umpires?
Just Rob Manfred.
Okay.
Let's just go there. Let's go to Seattle. Chicago White Sox at the Seattle Mariners in this one. You got Dallas Keuchel versus Justin Dunn. The total is 8.5 in this one. Keuchel likes to limit damage. Justin Dunn against the White Sox. Pray for him. Sorry, I skipped ahead and messed up your order probably. But Keuchel 70, 100 on FanDuel, 62 on the old DK wagon. He's 74 and 67 respectively on DK. Sorry, that was FanDuel. I like Chicago bats. I don't like much pitching. What about you on this one?
I do not like Kelly Nash's fiance. So no thank you. Pass.
Hey, he bought her a hell of a rock, though.
Oh, my God. It looks like the blood diamond. Yes. So it is gigantic.
It might have it probably fit in his beard.
You can't hide it in his beard. That's how big it is. And he's got a giant beard.
Very true. Very true. I'm looking to stack Chicago potentially. Any interest in that? Or do you want Seattle bats?
There's a couple Seattle bats I like for the price. I like Kyle Seager at 4,500, 2,900 on DK is a good one. 13 for 52 in his career with 3 bombs against Keuchel. I know that's some hot lefty on lefty action. Ty France, 3,600, 2,800, and Lurie Garcia, because Tim Anderson could still be out of lineup, 2,200 on FanDuel, 3,600 on DK.
Yeah, don't mind that at all. I like the Kyle Seager call. I like playing him versus lefties because people sleep him. DD. There's a few other guys that you can really get some nice leverage
Jeff
on.
McNeil, better career against lefties. So
it just sucks because for some reason, I don't know what Cheerios he urinated in, but he's batting 7th right now, and I just can't wrap my head around that. So
there's been some weird lead. I like the Cleveland is platooning Ben Gamble and Jordan Luplow at leadoff. Usually you don't platoon a leadoff spot, but okay.
True. Yeah. YOLO, I guess, as the kids say. We head to Miami, the St. Louis Cardinals, Miami Marlins, Jack Flaherty, who got just shellacked at his opening day start against Pablo Lopez, who I'm a huge fan of. Pablo is one of my favorite cheap options today, 6,800 on DK, 7,300 on FanDuel. Jack Flaherty's cheap. I'm just avoiding that right now. Maybe I'm foolish, but I just like other options to take my chances with. What do you like for the pitching in this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd rather go with Pablo over Flaherty right now. Just at the price, he's a grand cheaper on DK, 6,800. Let me see how much cheaper he is on FanDuel. It's 600 cheaper. So yeah, I think given the price, I think I'd rather go Pablo in this game. Not to mention all of the great pitchers that we've already gone over. I don't think I'll have Flaherty anywhere.
Yeah, to me, this feels like in most Marlins games so far have been kind of low scoring, not the biggest DFS experiences. Are you targeting any bats in this game?
I like a couple. Jesus Aguilar has a bomb off of Flaherty in his career, and he's hitting real well right now. I like Duvall, and Brian Anderson is super cheap, 3,700, 2,600. And Jazz Chisholm, if you're looking for a second baseman, that's some hot lefty righty action, 2,800, 2,500, cheap on both sides. So I like Jazz too.
I like the Jazz call. It's a good, nice value in that one. I'm probably avoiding most of that game, but I'm just trying to be, picky. But I could see, I'm not a Flaherty guy, so I think Miami is one of those. If you're making a lot of lineups, put some Marlins in there. I think that could be a lot of fun. But if you're making a few lineups, I don't know. But last game, Giants at the Padres. Kevin Gassman, Blake Snell, total of 77.5. Gausman is 7,600 on DK, 8,400 on FanDuel. Getting the FanDuel love. On DK, I'm interested. FanDuel, there's no chance I'm paying more for him than Woodruff. Not a chance at all. Not $800 difference. Do you like either pitcher in this game?
I like both these pitchers, but like you said, I just like the values better. Woodruff is by far, I feel like today, the best value, and you can play Bauer with Woodruff on DK. Yep. So I'm doing that. So I probably won't have either one of these guys, although I'm not going to hate it if you have them in your lineup. I'm not rooting against it or anything.
Yeah, these are the guys that, tournament wise, you could see it happen. I wouldn't use either in cash. I'll say that much. No. But tournaments, I could see the appeal. But part of me, the Giants last year did it, and they're showing it again this year. They find a way to hit lefties right now. And it really doesn't matter what lefty it is yet. So I think like Austin Slater's value. You could look at Donovan Solano, who's swinging well. Posey and Longo have been hitting lefties well. If you want to get weird, I think the Giants are an interesting stack tonight. What say you bats wise in this game?
Bats wise, there's a couple I like. Their price, Hae-Sung Kim. Now that unfortunately Fernando Tatis not going to be in the lineup for a while, is pretty cheap, 2,700, 2,400. Longoria swinging it hot right now, 3,900 and 3,100 on DK and FanDuel. Jake Cronenworth, 3,800, 3,200, still fairly cheap as well. Those are the bats that I like for this one.
I like it. I like it a lot. Let's just have a little fun here. If for your cash games, who is your top pitching option today?
Cash games, it's going to be Trevor Bauer. For the cost, he's not the most expensive, the second most expensive, but I do like Bauer for today's slate.
Yep, I like that quite a bit. Tournaments, who are you going with?
Easy, Brandon Woodruff. Brandon Woodruff is by far the best value, I feel like, anywhere in today's lineup. So Woodruff is going to be my guy.
Yeah, I'm with you. When I first looked at the pricing on this slate, I saw Woodruff's price, and I was like, are they looking at someone else? Is this supposed to be Adrian Hauser? What are we doing here? This doesn't make any sense at all. But like I say, once in a while, DraftKings is drunk. So it happens. How are you stacking it up? Give me a couple of your favorite stacks today.
My stacks today, I don't know, man. I like the Texas or the Toronto one against Texas, obviously. Like we said before, Cleveland against Keller isn't terrible. Minnesota against Boyd, I like as well. And I like the bats in Seattle and Chicago. I think those are my ones I like. It's terrible that the one late game is the game in Colorado. We don't get the Arizona-Colorado game today. So no, thin air. 18 runs that game ended with, by the way. No big deal. So, Story didn't homer, but 18 runs, 10-8 was the final. The D-backs did finally pull it out there. But that's it's unfortunate that one's not on there. But there's some decent stackable lineups today.
You'll just have to play Showdown, Coors Showdown. That'll make people drink. That'll be fun. Minnesota, Toronto, Philadelphia. And then I like some of that Chicago White Sox action as well.
Too. Yeah.
So there's a lot. I love 10-game slates. You can get weird. But last but not least, before we leave, these wonderful people, what is the home run call today? Remember, this will get tweeted out, retweet it, share it, all that good stuff. And if one of our guys goes deep, you can win some free swag. So Bogman, who is your home run call today?
Man, I keep going back and forth on who I want, but I'm going to land on JD Martinez against Ryan Yarbrough. I like Yarbrough too, but JD's swinging it hot right now. I got to take him.
Yeah, I'm going to go extremely lazy because I want another home run because I only have one so far this year.
Me too. Only opening day bomb. That's it.
Yeah, and I'm going Nelson Cruz. Like, I'm just going lazy. Now he probably goes 0 for 5, and it's all my fault. But like, he is hitting everything just ridiculously well, and he's facing Matt Boyd. What's Matt Boyd like to do? Give up home runs.
Yes.
So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Make it happen, Nelly. Keep doing your thing. Take that nice little 6 millimeter in the booty before the game. We'll be ready to roll. But with all that being said, before we take off, check out the LineStar app on your app store on Apple or Google Play. Also check them out on Twitter at LineStar app, at LineStar MLB. That's where they're always tweeting out goodies. Get your lineups there when they come out, the recent news, everything you need there. And then go rate and review the podcast on iTunes, subscribe and like the show on YouTube, all the good stuff. But until next time, we'll be back with you guys tomorrow daytime. You can find Bogman on Twitter at Bogman Storts. I'm on Twitter at BDintric. And good luck, everybody, on your Wednesday early action. Don't forget early slate. See ya.
Baseball and eggs. Let's go. See you guys later.
Thank you for listening to the LineStar App On Deck podcast. Download LineStar app from the App Store or go to linestarapp.com for all your DFS baseball needs. If you love the On Deck podcast, support Casey, Bubba, Bogman, and the Welsh by rating and subscribing. Good luck.